All right, guys, how's everybody doing today? So for today's Tuesday tackle tip, what I've got for you is wire tying your jigs. It is that time of year, where you're throwing a lot of jigs, you're throwing a lot of square bills. We've been doing the videos nonstop on square bills, but I do want to change gears just a little bit here, and I want to talk about the other lure that I'm throwing quite a bit right now, and that is jigs. So a lot of the companies out there, to make it quick and easy, they throw a rubber band around their skirts. Even when you buy replacements, most of the time it's going to come with a rubber band on it. So the rubber band is good, but the problem is that it does crack or break over time, and then all your skirt material falls off. So one way to kind of, a good measure to make sure it stays on there well is to wire tie it on. So this is a quick little tip here. Basically, you can run down to your hobby store, you can run down to your local hardware store, and you can pick up some wire. The one I've got here is an artisan wire. It's black 22 gauge. I do see a lot of people going to the hardware store and picking up that green wire that you would use in the lawn and garden section, and they're tying with that. So the other thing you'll need, of course, is a pair of needle nose pliers. You can hold it by hand, or you can drop it in a vise and tie it while it's in a vise as well. Either one of those are going to work really well for you. So real quickly, let's go ahead and drop one in a vise real quick. I'll show you how I tie it up and see if that's something that's going to work for you. Alright guys, so I want to go ahead and tie one more real quick in the jig for you, just to make it a lot easier so you can see what I got going on, and hopefully that'll help. So I got a Z-Man swim bait here. These are notorious for this rubber band breaking. I took a small piece of wire and I have pulled these guys, the tail legs, back to the back of the vise to kind of get them out of the way. So the only ones I got left are the ones that are hanging up front. I got my piece of wire here. It's going to be real hard to see seeing how it's black, but it'll show up against this white jig really well. So again, it's about 3.5 inches long. I'm going to go ahead and put pretty much a full curve into it, sort of like that, to make it easier to slide it in. I want to start on the back side so they cross on the top, and then I can twist them over here on the back side. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So I'm going to make sure that it ends up at the front of this rubber band the best I can. Pull all the way up here. Let me make sure I don't have any of the legs on the back side. That's the tricky part. And it looks like I've got the rubber band a little bit. Alright, so now that I've got it, I'm pulling it up to the top, pull them across, and that's where I'm going to make my first twist. Right, so I'm going to start twisting, and I'm pulling on it pretty hard going across. Of course, as hard as my hands can possibly pull. So now, this is where I'm going to go ahead and reach in with my needle nose pliers, and I'm going to make a couple more twists. And with the needle nose, that's where you can really get tight to the actual jig head that holds all the legs down, holds the skirt down. So now that I've done that a couple times, I'm going to get in here and with the X-Acto knife, I'm going to grab a hold of that rubber band and go ahead and cut that guy off. So once I've done that, that opens up. You can see how it's a little loose still. So now I want to go ahead and tighten it up even more. So if you can get it close to the base, that's going to really help to tighten this wire up. And you can really tell because you're going to start to see the skirt or the legs kind of flare up a little bit. That's how you know when you're getting it on there, and it's going to not really spin that much on you once you've got it down. Give it one more here just for good measure. All right, so now that I've got it nice and tight, I'm going to bring those legs up, and of course I want to trim right at the top of those twists. Alright, so now I've cut it off. You can kind of see the shine in the metal there where I cut it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to get in there completely with the pliers, and I want to kind of mash that down. So you can see where it's folded down now, get it out of the way. Of course, I don't want it grabbing any grass, anything of that nature. Now I can come back here, grab that extra piece of wire that I was just using to hold the skirt out of the way, and unwrap that. And now you can see that it's tied on with wire. It's going to be a lot stronger. There's no snags. Even when I run my hands through it, run my hands down the bottom, it's going to be nice and smooth. There's a little bit of space that if you need to twist it, you can, just a touch, but that jig looks pretty good right off the bat. All right, so you can see that's pretty quick and easy. That, you know, it's a good little project you can do while you're just sitting around watching TV, watching sports, whatever it may be. Maybe you're watching the FLW that's going on right now. It's coming to town. The guys are out there pre-fishing right this second on Lake Austin, or excuse me, on Lake Travis. So they're going to actually kick off this weekend, so it ought to be pretty exciting. Of course, I got a bunch of pros showing up to the store this weekend as well. So if you ever have a chance to stop by and pick their brains, you know, that'll be a lot of fun. We got, I think, 6 pros coming in to kind of give seminars and talk to us about it. So the other last little quick tip I've got for you, since we're talking about jigs, jigs hold a lot of water, meaning if you don't let that jig completely dry out before you throw it back in the box, all these little skirts and the trailers, all of that, even the weed guards, they're going to hold moisture. So if you can't let it sit out and dry before you put it back in the box, you're going to get a lot of rust. So there is a company out there, Flambeau, I'm sure you've heard of them, they make tackle boxes. They sell their dividers and they look just like this. So they come in a 12 pack, they're about $2–3 for a 12 pack of them. And what I do is I take these little dividers, I cut them into their sections, and I throw them inside the tackle box. I'm not using them for dividers, but I throw them down in the bottom, because what these do is they give off a vapor that helps to prevent rust. I think they're actually called stop rust. But it's a good thing to have in some of your boxes, especially your jig box. You know, that's the one that's going to hold that moisture. Maybe your terminal tackle box. You know, you spend a lot of money on the terminal tackle. You want to make sure it stays in top performing condition for you. So that's very, very important. You know, the frog box, that's another one. You got those rubber skirts. You're going to be bringing them back in. Plus they're hollow body. You might have a little bit of water left inside that body. So these are some of the important boxes to throw something like that. It's just a good preventative measure to make sure that your tackle stays up to par. Alright guys, so if you like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you got any questions or anything like that, please comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, if that way you can stay up to date on all the new videos that we got coming out. And you know, maybe you got a buddy that's trying to tie up some jigs, you know, or something like this. He's got a problem with rusting boxes. Share this video with him, and until next time guys, as always, thanks for watching.